time to give the people what they want. It's Jalen and Jacoby.
He is Jalen Rose.
What up, Del?
I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in.
Together, we are Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN2. What do we do?
We get the people what they want.
Jalen, you always say that you will not tolerate any LaVar Ball slander on this program. But he keeps doing more and more insane things. Seems like it was just a week ago he was saying that the Los Angeles Lakers coaches were soft and that he should replace them. And then he has now pulled his son, Liangelo Ball, from the UCLA program. Liangelo is still suspended due to his involvement in an incident in China where they were accused of shoplifting. Jalen, what is your boy LaVar Ball doing?
There still will be no LaVar slander
Yes,
because
there will. Yes, there will.
my adoption papers haven't gotten completed just yet.
Okay.
Before I become a member of the Ball family. In all honesty, here's the thing. His son that was registered to go to UCLA, Liangelo, was not an NBA prospect to begin with.
Okay.
I don't think if his older brother wasn't who he was and his younger brother wasn't the prospect he is, he would have gotten that opportunity to play at UCLA anyway. So for me, I would have thought the end game would have been, oh, you get to go to UCLA and play on a basketball team for 4 years? Oh, man, for scholarship, that's a win. I would have taken that, especially when he put himself in a position in China. We all know about it. When you come back, they're going to discipline you.
Yes.
You're going to miss some basketball games. It's not going to be like, oh, just get out there and practice and play. Life doesn't work like that. So it's a head-scratching decision. It's one I'm surprised by, definitely one I would not make. It's a terrific opportunity to be a collegiate, scholarship athlete. Not too many people walking the face of the earth can say that. He had that opportunity and gave it back.
Well, you are correct. I mean, Liangelo Ball, we always called the quote-unquote the possible because he certainly didn't seem like he was going to be an NBA basketball player or even an NBA prospect. But there are also implications on LaMelo Ball, who is the third of the Ball brothers. LaMelo Ball is now also supposedly going to look at overseas opportunities in lieu of college, if the rule is still in place. Jalen, you can't support this decision and the implications it has on LaMelo, who is an NBA prospect.
Well, there have been players that didn't play collegiate basketball, whether the rule stated that you could come straight out of high school or those that went and played overseas that have still come into the NBA and have success. In this case, I think it's going to be a lot tougher because of the scrutiny that he's going to face. The information is already out there about how they're making it basketball or bust for these two young people's lives. And as a founder of a school, as a former player, that's always a tricky proposition when you say, we're going to gauge the success on your life on whether you can play high-level basketball and be paid or not. Because there are not many people that are able to pick up a check because they're able to shoot a basketball. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for him as a young prospect. It is not something I would do in this climate, but I must say this. When you look at some of your favorite international players in the league, like Antetokounmpo, like Porzingis, remember, international prospects aren't required to go to college.
Jalen.
Only American-born prospects are.
So, Jalen, let's just look at the three brothers and where they are and where LaVar Ball is with their coaches. He called the Lakers coaches soft and suggested that he should replace them. And then there's the UCLA program, which he is now at odds with to the point where he has pulled his son from the program. And then there's Chino Hills, where LaMelo plays. He's gotten 2 coaches fired from there. Are we still saying that we have this policy where there's no LaVar Ball slander?
I got to get adopted first.
Okay.
You're not getting me kicked out of the family.
One thing I know about you, Jalen, is you're not good at finishing paperwork. You know? One thing I know about you is paperwork and you just don't really go together. Something tells me you won't be in the Ball family for quite some time at this point. Moving on. The Warriors came from behind to beat the Pelicans and Anthony Davis-less Pelicans. And at the end of the game, there was this incident between DeMarcus Cousins and Kevin Durant. There's a little push there. And then Durant sort of, stays around him. And now Durant's acting like he wants to fight.
Might have to sneeze. Hold me back.
It was certainly a hold me back moment in which Kevin Durant kind of seemed to be the aggressor against Boogie. Then there's this information. In the first 810 basketball contests of Kevin Durant's NBA career, he was ejected only twice. In the last 18 games, he has been ejected thrice. Jalen, what is going on with KD and why is he getting ejected all the time?
To whom much is given, much is required. And what I'm seeing not only from KD, but also from the Golden State Warriors, multiple players getting technical fouls, getting ejected. The elite level expectations are not allowing them to actually enjoy the fun of playing basketball anymore.
Oh.
And so now all of a sudden when you fast forward the season and say, oh, the Golden State Warriors are the favorite, it's going to be them and the Cavs, you forget about the journey. And what I see is a basketball team, a championship-laden one, that is not enjoying just the true spirit of playing together and playing a kid's game that they're all really good at. And I think that's something, as a coaching staff and as a team, they're going to find a way to get that back, but it's playing out in these scenarios that you just described.
It's interesting you bring that up because Kevin Durant cited sort of the fun that the Warriors seem to be having as one of the reasons he wanted to join that team. And during that win streak, it did seem like the Warriors weren't just the best team in the league, but they were having the most fun in the league. And now you say that they're taking a little bit of that enjoyment out. It recalls Steve Kerr saying that they need to get away from the game a little bit, that they need to spend time on the golf course or with their families. He sort of mandated that perhaps you're right. And you mentioned players getting technicals and players getting kicked out. Earlier in the game, there was this incident between referee Courtney Kirkland and veteran Sean Livingston, where the two of them, there was an argument over a little no call. Livingston walks over, kind of starts arguing with them. Then they go tete-a-tete doing the NBA forehead-to-forehead thing. Courtney Kirkland kicks him out of the game. But subsequently, Courtney Kirkland has been taken out of the NBA referee rotation, essentially being suspended by the league. Are you surprised that the referee in this case was also disciplined?
I'm not surprised he was disciplined because he took a couple of steps forward. And in NBA annals, they're required as officials to take a couple of steps back, if not try to ignore said player when they're angry. I hope this doesn't cost him many opportunities to officiate, in particular once playoff time comes, because I think he's really good at his job. But that video and how you saw Livingston respond, who, by the way, that's not his personality in any way, shape, or form. That's just who he becomes when he puts his uniform on. And so with that, that's a team that's trying to win every play, trying to get every call, trying to win every possession, trying to play perfect as opposed to play really well like they've been able to do the last few years.
Well, now they're going to have to play really well without Steph Curry, who injured his ankle at the end of that game. We'll keep an eye on how they do without Steph, one of their scoring leaders. Next, you can keep an eye on us, because when we come back, Lance Stevenson is back.
You such a dicey
Lance is
fan.
back.
Name a word that people use to avoid swearing.
Mother scruncher.
Yes. I've never, ever in my life, ever heard the term mother scruncher, ever before.
Name a word that people use to avoid swearing.
What about anus?
Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN2. Jalen, Lance, will make them dance. Lance Stevenson is back. He's been on a tear. In this possession, he goes behind the back, gets the ball back, without dribbling, goes through the legs, through the legs, through the legs, through the legs, through the legs. Then on Frankie, gives him a spin, and the left-handed finish, and this is the best part, rides away on an imaginary horse into the night in Indianapolis. Lance is back, Jalen, and I couldn't be happier. This is the greatest thing to happen to the NBA since the three-point shot and the shot clock. Do you agree?
Born ready, the 8th grader. Your favorite player, now back with the Pacers, making highlight reel plays. And I've been in a situation where it was my job to play lockdown D. I've also been in situations where I played Olay defense. The guy that was guarding him, here's what I must say.
That was Frank Ntilikina.
When a gentleman is taking the ball between his legs
For the
without
fourth time.
dribbling, there's no reason to jump around.
That's fair. So
That was
Jalen,
the first thing that
so let me
stood
ask
out
you
to me.
let me ask you a serious question, though. Who do you think will finish second to Lance in the MVP voting this year?
I would say Boban of the Pistons.
Boban, unless Mitch McGary gets picked up by a team.
So
before the
that you
voting
and
is
Michelle
closed.
Beadle can be happy.
I love Boban and I love Beadle. God, we should have a new show, Jacoby, Boban, and Beadle. I'll pitch that right after this. All right. After playing without any agent or representation since DeAndre Jordan fired Dan Fagan back in 2015, something has changed. He has now brought on board mega agent Jeff Schwartz of Excel Sports Management. Schwartz has a lot of different clients around the NBA, about 40. He also represents Blake Griffin, DeAndre's teammates, CJ McCollum, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Love, Hassan Whiteside, and others. There have been trade rumors about DeAndre Jordan in the wake of the Blake Griffin injury and the Clippers' failings. What does all this mean, Jalen Rose, for the future of DeAndre Jordan?
The future of DeAndre Jordan can tilt the way we look at the NBA right now.
Ooh.
When you talk about top 15, 20 players in the game, he won't be listed, but he does something valuable. I always talk about skill bigs, dribble, pass, shoot threes, play on the post, and will bigs, run, jump, dunk, and block shots.
Yep.
Catch lobs. He's probably the best at that. So for a player that's going to rebound well, that's going to block shots, and is really athletic, just put him on a couple of teams mentally that I throw out there for you.
All right. I'm going to put him there.
He's from Texas, so put him on the Rockets.
Ooh, like the Capella replacement? Nene's getting a little old? Okay.
How about go Spurs, go?
Oh, that'd be interesting. Something tells me that Pop would know what to do with him.
And then we flip it to the East, my brother.
To the East.
To the East.
Okay.
How about the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Ooh, I like that. Replacing Tristan Thompson, eating up some of those minutes, getting completely eaten up by the Warriors when they get him on pick and roll switches.
So again, for DeAndre Jordan, there are going to be other teams just trying to unload current contracts that they have on their roster that they probably signed within the last couple of years. So there's going to be a major market out there for him. And I didn't mention the Dallas Mavs, who he actually agreed to go play with previously, and then he reneged at the last minute.
Can I do the rest of the show massaging my temples?
That feels good. I need to do that to myself more often.
This does feel good. It really does feel good. It relieves a lot of stress and pressure.
It does.
You know what else relieves a lot of stress and pressure? Winning 12 games in a row. Remember when we were all worried about the Cleveland Cavaliers? Well, they're on a 12-game win streak after beating the Bulls. And, of course, they're always powered by LeBron James. But now we have Kevin Love.
I got nothing but love for you,
In the
baby.
last 4 games, Kevin Love has been averaging just under 27 points, shooting over 50% from 3 in the last 4 games. Kevin Love is often overlooked on other programs as one of the key cogs in the Cavs' wheel. What about Kevin Love has sort of been unlocked in the last 4 or 5 games?
One of the least reported things about the Cleveland Cavaliers is Kevin Love is playing all NBA caliber basketball. And the thing that has gotten unlocked is that he can go to the post and take advantage in small ball lineups, in particular when he's at the 5. But he's become a true knockdown three-point shooter. He's always rebounded well. He always put up big numbers when he was in Minnesota. But when he came to the Cleveland Cavaliers, remember, he was number 3 behind LeBron and Kyrie.
Yep.
Exit Kyrie, no Isaiah Thomas. Now he's number 2, and he's putting up big-time numbers. And I'm happy to see him perform at this level because a lot of people forgot how good he was at the game of basketball.
Absolutely, and I think that Kevin Love getting him going is very important for the Cavs. And you can see during big games in the finals, they'll try to get him some touches early, try to get his confidence up, let him hit some shots. And it seems like LeBron makes a concerted effort to involve him. But at this point, it just seems like he is the second offensive option. And like you said, he can post up when he's got a small big on him. He can take a big outside. And he had a tough stretch in the season when he had to cover some bigs. Hassan Whiteside, he had to cover, and then Embiid, he had to go cover. But when he has smaller centers to go up against, he kind of eats them up, and I think that he will continue to do so throughout the regular season. Keep an eye on not just LeBron James in the Cav uniform, but also Kevin Love. Coming up next, Jalen Rose. I'm about to admit something on television during the next segment that I really should not. I'm going to do it anyway.
Did you fart it in the studio?
No, Jalen. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, Nerlens Noel has caused a huge controversy in Dallas. During halftime of a recent game, Nerlens went to the press room to acquire a hot dog. There was some question of whether or not he was trying to send a message, knowing that he wasn't going to play, he's being underused, and this and that. However, that is not the controversy. The controversy is this, is Nerlens Noel insists on relish, and only relish, to be on top of his hot dog. Which leads to the natural question, Jalen, what is on your ideal hot dog?
First off, anything that requires bread is a sandwich.
Okay, glad we got that out of the way.
I've changed over the years. As a kid, I was a Coney Island, chili dog, onion, ketchup,
get some cheese,
mustard,
cheese,
relish.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot.
As I've gotten older,
more sophisticated.
I'm just rolling with mustard and relish.
I thought you were going to be like lobster and shrimp. You know, that'd be a Jalen thing. You're getting only lobster rolls now for Jalen. Mustard and relish is a good combo. I like to go with the traditional relish, ketchup, and mustard. And if cheese is an option, I'm going to go cheese as well. Thank you, Nerlens, for bringing this important conversation to the world of sports news.
I love those red hot sausages. Throwing them on the grill. Those are bomb.
Oh, those are good. Next, the Denver Broncos have been one of the more disappointing teams in the NFL this year. A lot of expectations, great defense going into the season. Quarterback was going to be a question mark, but they have now lost 6 straight games. And as they're ready for a game against their division rival Chiefs, who are also struggling, head coach Vance Joseph announced that there's a new motto for the team. And I'm not kidding. He said, quote, this comes via tweet from Nikki, "This team has played hard. Unfortunately, we've turned the ball over at a rapid rate, but as far as effort, guys are finishing games. It gets a little old, but we have a great locker room and we have a great staff. Our motto this week is no surviving." Jalen, what does Mr. Joseph think is going to happen this weekend when they play the Chiefs? No surviving.
The Chiefs have been struggling after a 5-0 start. I would say if Gronk would have did what he did to the Buffalo player after the interception, his WWF move, and elbowed him and sent him in a concussion protocol, which he should have got suspended 3 games for, against the Denver Broncos, or they'll still be fighting. That's what Vance Joseph is talking about.
No
the
surviving?
teams has stayed united.
But do you think he really meant no surviving?
He misspoke.
You think so?
Yeah, he
No
misspoke.
surviving just seems dark. It just seems like a really morbid way to go into a football game.
Yeah, he just misspoke.
Or he has some very violent plans for the Chiefs this weekend.
That could be a
Next,
good game.
in a recent interview, former Washington professional football team players Clint Portis and Santana Moss revealed that before games, them and their teammate Sean Taylor used to do shots of Hennessy, or as they said, yak, before football games. Jalen, was there ever any shots of adult beverages before games in your NBA career?
Absolutely not. And here's what I will say. When I hear steroid use or any performance enhancers that are used in physically demanding sports like boxing and MMA and football, I say do whatever it takes to get you ready to go out there.
Okay.
When I saw what happened to Ryan Shazier, hope he gets well, and that was just an average play, and seeing him carted off the way he was, whatever it takes to get you into that state of mind, you got to do it. Sean Taylor, rest in peace, 21. That was my dog.
A recent study came out. They studied 515 men across Japan, ages 20 to 69. And this study has revealed that 44% of these men admitted to peeing while sitting down. Jalen, I have a confession to make. If it is the middle of the night and I wake up to pee, I'm definitely sitting down. Definitely sitting down. I don't care who knows it. I'll say it on national television. I'm not afraid to admit it. I will sit down to pee if it is the middle of the night or even if I'm just tired.
Are you doing it because you don't want to cut on the light?
No, it's nothing to do with the lights. It's just because my legs are tired. I was just sleeping. I just don't want to stand there. Sometimes it takes a long time. I sit down to pee. Jalen, are you willing to be man enough to admit that you sit down to pee? Because I know you have before. I know you
absolutely
have. In the
have
middle
never
of the night,
sat down
never
to
once,
pee. There
never
are
once.
times where you think you got to do a number two and you sit down and you don't have to and you end up peeing.
Never once.
But no, I'm not sitting down to pee.
Are you lying?
Not going to be able to do it.
We'll be back on Monday. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, Jalen and Jacoby, on ESPN2.
I thought I knew you better.